We're back on Wavy News 10 today. The current average price for a gallon of gas here in Hampton Roads, $3.20 per gallon. That's more than 60 cents higher than it was at this time last year.
And with tensions continuing to rise in the Middle East, analysts expect fuel prices to do the same, continue to increase. So turn aside when in search of ways that you can increase gas mileage and save some money.
Right. We can't make the gas any cheaper, but we can make it last longer for you. Our David Culver reports in your Money Monday report.
Just about everyone's feeling the pain at the pump.
Gas is not what you want to spend your money on. Gas is something you need because you need to come from A to B or to drive around.
But with driving around getting more and more expensive, head on your side when in search of ways to increase your gas mileage and save you some money. We talked with Ross Anderton, a mechanic and owner of Shore Drive Shell in Virginia Beach.
There's a lot of gimmicks, there's a lot of different things that we see online and even advertised on TV that when gas prices are going up, folks are going to say, oh, you can even do better than what you did when you initially bought that car brand new. You would say,
That's not going to happen. That car comes out of the factory as efficient as it can be. The only thing we can do is maintain that and keep us from dropping miles per gallon.
To do that, Anderton stresses regular car maintenance, including timely oil changes and proper tire inflation. But he also recommends having your mechanic perform a fuel induction service.
It's going to make everything fit really tightly together and get all the carbon out of the motor. It's just going to make it a more efficient machine.
Deposits make the fuel mileage go up. If we remove the deposits, then the fuel mileage comes back, to what it's supposed to be.
Robert Thomas will tell you the service isn't cheap. It costs about $130, but both he and Anderton say you'll gain a couple of miles per gallon, and over several months, you'll see your money back and then some.
You're probably going to save a couple $100, maybe even $300 in a 30,000-mile period with a clean fuel system versus a dirty one.
Whether you have the service done or not, to at least maximize gas mileage, the advice here, get your vehicle in for regular checkups.
And that's whatever you're driving, a tractor, a motorcycle, or a car, you've just got to take care of it.
In Virginia Beach, David Culver, 10 on your side.
And again, the best way to maximize your car's mileage, schedule your vehicle for regular maintenance, such as oil changes, keep tires inflated to recommended PSI, and consider having your mechanic perform a fuel induction service to clean out your car's fuel system.
Gas prices on the rise. We're all looking for more ways to save money at the pump. There are some devices out there that claim to do just that, but are they good deals or are they duds? Car care expert Lynn Beckwith, yes, she is a female mechanic, joins me today with the answers. We appreciate you coming in as always, Lynn. So
happy to be here.
Let's get started. Why did you bring in cookie cutters?
I know. They would make really pretty Christmas cookies.
There you go. What are these?
There are so many devices that are all based on pretty good theories.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they don't all produce the results
that they claim. And you have put them to the test, Missy.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Both of these devices fit in between your air filter and your intake. And the concept is that as the air passes through, it spins, creates a vortex, and mixes with the fuel better, creates a better combustion, and consequently better fuel economy. Unfortunately, they only claim to improve gas economy by about 1 mile per gallon, which for the average driver is about $70 a year. So even if they did what they claim, they don't save you much money.
$70 though? All right, we don't know. And I don't have to install this, which I'm happy about.
They don't work.
All right, then what about these refrigerator magnets?
And that's what they are. They're high-powered magnets. There's all different types. Some of the magnet devices don't even claim to be magnets. They use all sorts of really big words to make you think there's something else. The concept is that they align the fuel molecules. And then the other magnets might claim they disaligned the molecules. The end result is that the fuel still has to get into the combustion chamber, and it really just doesn't make
Okay, so these are probably a dud then as well.
Dud as well.
All right, my dad has one of these. I have never used it. Tire pressure gauge.
One of the least expensive things you can buy to keep your tires aired up to the proper pressure. And not only are you safer, but your fuel economy is going to go up typically by about 3%.
And this I can use because I just check it on my tire and then it pops up according to my pressure, and I check on the inside of my door and I can find what my vehicle requires.
Your manufacturer's required to post it. It's usually inside your door well, underneath the gas cap.
Okay, got it. I got that. What is this stuff? Power enhancer.
Yeah, actually, maintaining your vehicle fuel system, spark plugs, keeping your vehicle running the way the manufacturer intended it to run is one of the best things you can do.
And this is going to help me with this?
This one's going to help.
What does this do?
These are all cleaners, and what they do is they keep your intake, they keep your combustion chambers, they keep the fuel that's running through clean and functioning properly. It's not that they're doing anything more than your car did when it was new. It's just bringing your car back up to
And what are these called?
It's all part of a fuel system service.
Okay, you got that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, thanks so much, Lynn. We're out of time, but we've got through all of the products, and we do appreciate it.
All right, now it's time for our Ask the Auto Man segment. You ask, now he's answering. Does fuel injection help your car? Our Auto Man, Brian Bowersock from West Escondido Auto, is here once again. Brian, good to see you, my friend.
Glad to be here.
Okay, what is fuel injection, first of all?
Well, obviously, we did away with carburetors in the 80s, and we've gone to fuel injection. Almost every car is fuel injected now. And fuel injection is basically, there's an injector for each cylinder or a centralized injector that distributes fuel to the motor, obviously, and we have a combustion engine, so we need fuel, and that's what fuel injection does.
Okay, so break it down for the average person that doesn't maybe know cars that well. Why should they care about this?
Well, the reason you should care about it, it's what gets the fuel into the cylinder that keeps the car running. Fuel injection system stops, the pump, plugged injector, runs rough, car doesn't run, etc. So it's very important. Another thing that fuel system does is controls your gas mileage and things like that, and how well the car runs, better fuel economy, stuff like that, if it's working properly.
So is this something that when it's broken, you'll hear a breakdown or something like that, or is it a slow process? How does that work?
It's usually a slow process, and we did bring some examples of things that happen, like valves carboning up. We have some really carboned up valves, and then we actually have a valve that's clean and what it should look like on a car. Carbon does a couple things. It can cause valves to stick. It robs the car of fuel economy. This carbon actually, when hot, will absorb some of the fuel that's sprayed in by the fuel, so it requires more fuel to keep the car running properly.
Okay. And so what's the solution to that?
Solution to that is a three-part, what's called an induction service. There's 3 parts that we do to it. Number 1 is we actually clean the throttle body. And you can see inside this throttle body, I've cleaned 1/2 of it. The other half is dirty, where how carbon and soot builds up inside of it. By cleaning the throttle body, the vehicle actually runs and idles a lot smoother. Customers, when this service is done, will notice that right off the bat. Second part is what we call the induction or spray-in service, which actually removes the carbon from the intake system and the valves itself.
So this just goes right under the hood itself.
We hang it under the hood. It goes into the throttle body while the car's running, and the chemicals will actually clean the runners, the valves, the carbon off the valves like that.
And this is obvious. This is something that you need professional help on, right?
Yeah, this is something that this professional equipment, it hooks to air, things like that, and will clean everything up. It makes it nice and running well.
So how do you know it's time to do this?
A lot of times you can tell by looking at the throttle body. It's something your technician should be looking at when your car is serviced. It's often something that we inspect for our customers on a regular basis.
And you said this is one of those things that you can tell once it's done. You might not have realized it beforehand, but once it's done, there's a big difference.
Yeah, the cost of the service isn't a whole lot of money. You're talking about $119. And customers, when it's done, most of them will call you back and say, my car runs so much smoother. I didn't realize that, it was running the way it was. It runs like it was brand new again. It makes a big difference.
All right. So excellent. And is this the stuff you guys are using to do it?
This is stuff we use. We actually use a professional chemical called BG when the 3-part service, and it's available through most quality auto repair facilities to do this for you.
And how often should something like this be done?
Roughly a year or so around that time. Keeps everything running good and in good shape.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
No
Nicely
problem.
done.
Glad to be
Thanks
here.
for bringing it in. And for more information on how you can get this done, if you want to go to Brian, you've got an auto question, you can go to sandiego6.com, click on Hot Topics. There's a special Ask the Auto Man segment, and send in your question.
Well, now Jerry Gretzinger, he's been out for a while now, testing all sorts of ways to try to save you money on gasoline, make your gas go a little farther. So far, hasn't had a lot of luck.
No, but the results are in, and this new product that he tested, guess what? It worked. Here's his report.
You probably wouldn't be surprised to know that most gas gimmicks...
Are you tired of paying outrageous gas prices?
Those nifty little products that promise to save you money at the pump don't work. And we should know, we've tried a lot of them.
It doesn't fit inside the air chamber.
From the Tornado Fuel Saver...
Crazy. Outrageous. I think it's a scam.
...to Fuel Freedom International's MPG caps.
There is a sucker born every minute out there.
But we kept at it, figuring sooner or later we'd find something that worked. And we did.
Before we did any kind of testing, our Ford Explorer was giving us 17.9 miles to the gallon. Then we tried those gas pills, which seemed to backfire and gave us just 15.6 miles to the gallon. Then we tried these products, which, much to our surprise, delivered on their promise to improve mileage per gallon, giving us 19.6 miles per gallon.
These 3 cans part of the induction system cleanup service developed by BG Products.
Are you surprised that we saw increased mileage per gallon after getting the service done?
Not really.
Jason Hamilton of Niskayuna Tire says the products are designed to do a thorough cleaning of the fuel system, enabling better fuel atomization, which means better mileage.
A lot of people are going to say, okay, it improves my mileage per gallon, but what does the service cost? How long is it going to take me to actually pay it off? What is the usual going rate for this service?
It's approximately $120 for the service.
Sounds expensive, and results will vary, but with our findings for a 20-gallon tank at $3 a gallon, those BG products actually save you about $6 on every fill-up. Do the math, and in just 20 tankfuls, the $120 service pays for itself. It does work best for older vehicles and should be repeated every 30,000 miles. Jerry Gretzinger, CBS 6 News.